ଅଜୟ କଣ ଅନୁଗୁଳରୁ କଥା ହଉଥିଲା? ସେ ଅନୁଗୁଳରେ କୋଉଠି ରହେ?
ଘର ଭଡ଼ା ନେଇକି ଅଛି। Well, good evening, everybody.
Happy evening, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
So we have discussed about the educational management with respect to the formal education. Already we have discussed in Unit 6, in Unit 7, the educational management with respect to non-formal education. So from the outset, I would like to say the non-formal education is conceptualized as an organized educational activity occurring in the traditional framework of formal education system. It may take place within or outside the educational institution and caters to persons of all ages depending on country's context. It may cover educational program to impart adult literacy, basic education for basic education for all, out of the children for out of the school, work skills, life skills, vocational skills, and general culture. But this is the concept. So, unlike your there is a structured activity, educational activity in the formal system of education. Here also in the non-formal system of education, it is a structured one. And it is educational activities. Educational activity for everybody at different ages. In the formal schools, a formal education, what happens? There is a age limit for entry. At class 6 or class 11 or class say in plus 3 or PG level. Of course, in NEP 2023 2020, that age bar has been abolished, that the multiple entry and the multiple exit. One can leave the education at any point of time due to certain reasons and also can enter after some days when the difficulties are overcome. Similarly, the non for but here it is not for all persons of all ages. In the non, it is also structured one. In the formal education, that is a structured one. There is a basic structure, curriculum, assessment, and all other things are there. So also in the non-formal education, there is structured one. The various educational activities are carried on in the non-formal system of education. And it covers all individuals of different age group. And also one thing where the formal education does not reach, the non-formal education reaches there. Across the country, there are some inaccessible areas, geographical areas, where it is difficult to rich or difficult to provide them education. What we do, particularly in during the COVID time, pandemic situation, the students were not able to attend physically offline class, that is, in the educational institutions. So those period during those periods, there was online classes. So here it reached to different parts of the state or the country and also different context in the urban area, rural area, backward area, and tribal area. So different context. The need of the different context, the need of the people of the different context are different. So it addresses the needs of the people of different context or situation, or you say as environment. So large number of individuals or learners are covered. For example, your IGNU is non-formal education, which covers a large number of learners of different parts of the country and the largest university in our country. But that is a structured curriculum. But the time is flexible. In the formal education, the time is rigidity is maintained in the time. But here, one has to complete the particular course within 4 years. The time constant is not there. They're more flexible. There is assessment, no doubt. In formal education, also there is assessment. Besides that, it also in non-formal education, the those who are out of the school, that also the open learning system, NIOS, National Institute of Open Learning, they are out of the school. They also learn in the non-formal system. And even if those who are not enrolled in the NIOS system, they also provided through online learning. There are some universities in India and outside. Mostly you'll find the universities in UK. There is online class and there is no need of the teacher. Only the teacher systematically prepares the audiences to be transacted and it reaches to the learners. And for that they submit their assignments. So no time limit, no rigidity, more flexibility. All these characteristics are in the non-formal system of education. And also the life skills and also the work skills, the adult literacy and the general culture, the way of life are to be, these concepts are to be given through non-formal system of education. Then how do we manage the educational system for the quality. Suppose a life skill. What are the life skills? Life skills includes what should be the attitude, what should be the health conditions, and what should be the sexual behavior during a period of adolescence, so that he will not be affected by HIV/AIDS. And one should be conscious about the various diseases. We have to maintain hygienic conditions and how to solve the problems when various problems we come across. These skills are to be developed through non-formal education. Through IGNU, there are different courses, and one can opt for any course, and one may attend the class or may not attend the class. Doesn't matter. But he has to go through the learning materials and appear the exam, the assessment, what you say, or summative evaluation. That is what knowledge, what understanding about the topics or different courses has that have been transacted during online class or offline class. Before this, there was offline class. So there is a difference between a offline class and online class. What happens in the offline class? There is a direct interaction between the teacher and the learner. The learner asks the doubts and they clarify the doubts. But in the online class, whenever I ask you all, there is no scope to clarify your doubts. Either you try to conceal yourself or do not want to disclose what you have learned, or there may be language barrier. There are many barriers. So in the non-formal education, there is a less interaction or less communication between the teacher and the learner, or the persons who are pursuing their various courses through online course or distance mode. So it is a structured one. It has a goal. It has some elements. So in the management system, what will you do? That what are the activities that are to be undertaken? Previously, there was an adult literacy program. These activities are these non-formal education has been almost abolished. There was no necessity of the adult literacy. That is exactly not adult literacy, the functional adult literacy. For example, the agriculturist, the laborers working in different fields, they don't have time to know something about their profession or about their work. So there is a technological development in various areas. So in order to make them aware, so it is a necessity to provide the non-formal education regarding weather and regarding natural calamities, regarding natural hazards, and so on and so forth. So these skills are to be developed through non-formal education. At the same time, the vocational skills, various vocational skills are developed through non-formal education. And one day you are asking for the screenshot, I am unable to provide. Of course, the because it is my ignorance. So, for that reason, in order to make it qualitative one, I was telling that the every educational system or a management system should have elements. A system should have elements. A system should try to achieve the quality. What is quality? Have you remembered? What is quality? Have you any of you? What is quality? Any of you can say?
The fitness for the purpose.
Fitness for the purpose, right? You have remembered rightly. Fitness for the purpose. Suppose the knowledge about the weather, knowledge about the how to increase the productivity in the agricultural sector, industrial sector, and its applicability. If they have understood, they can also apply in the practical field for the to increase the productivity. The economy of the country depends on two factors. One factor one of the objective is to increase the productivity. When the productivity is increased, the economic condition will be increased. Now, the Reserve Bank has expecting that 7.5% growth in economy. So now we are in the fifth position. So far the development is concerned, and Modi has given guarantee that we will come to the third position. So this is how in the non-formal sector that it is not like classroom situation, outside the classroom situation, or even in the classroom situation, if those who are out of the school, some coachings are given. And they are to be allowed to complete the course. So the under this, the non-formal education activities, one of the activities, the early childhood care and education, ECCE, early childhood care and education, literacy program. So what is the management system? For that, there are some NGOs, also both government and non-government sectors are responsible for developing or for imparting in the non-formal education. So, in the early childhood education, so I have told you there must be a structure. In the government sector, there is Anganwadi, early childhood education. You see, there are some Anganwadi workers, and a no formal education is given to them. Only play away activities are practiced there, and non-formal education is given through dance, through song, through pictures, through diagrams, etc. All these activities like creative abilities, interest, attitude, etc. can be developed. Also, there is a part, the immunization program in the early childhood education, how to make the child healthy, safe, and secure. That is the anti is there. So both non-government organizations and government organizations, they are trying to achieve the objective. So there is a structure. Structure is there, but the activities are there. But there is no, suppose one does not attend the class, he will not be punished, or he will not be thrown to the society. There are two concepts, that pulling the children to the school and pushing the children to the school. Two concepts I have used. Pushing the children to the school, from the school to the society, sorry, pushing the children to the society means when the environment, the school climate, and the early childhood, where the early childhood centers are going on, it is not conducive, it is not favorable for them. So practically they are pushed to the society instead of pulling them to the, we do not attract the children to the institution. So in the management structure, we have to supervise both at the NGO sector, non-government sector. There are so many NGOs are there who are also doing the early, or have opened the early childhood education. And there is also schools for disabled children, for hearing impaired children, special schools managed by the NGOs. Their maintenance, their scholarship, and all the things are borne by the Social Security Empowerment Department, Odisha, or at the central level, SSAPD department. There is a department at the government sector, and the NGOs get the fund, and learners of different age group, they learn. There is no age bar. There is no fixed timetable for them. If one is not interested to learn, he may quit. Next day he will come. So within the structured framework, but time is not a factor for retaining the children for 6 hours or 5 hours, like that. In the college, there is 75% attendance. In the schools, there is also percentage of attendance. If one doesn't fulfill, he will be not be allowed to appear at the examination. So that thing is not there in the non-formal sector. Time factor. And also, it is another is your literacy program. I have told you that only the Odia alphabet or English alphabets is not sufficient for the individual. That is called functional literacy. What is functional literacy? He will be literate, but it must be functional. He will communicate with others. He will acquire the knowledge and skills. He can read the newspaper. He can read the various literatures. He can understand it. So that is functional literacy. He can have the idea about the climate, weather, natural calamities, hazards, etc. So he will be aware of to keep the your paddy in safe position when there is a cyclonic condition. In Odisha, there is an announcement. And also some people, they go to the secure place. That is functional literacy. They should have access to the electronic media, radio, television, etc. and they listen to the or visualize the various incidents, and accordingly they take precautions. If there is a earthquake, how to take measures so that the life will be secure. And if you are traveling through boats, you should have life jacket so that one cannot drown. Today, there is a news item in the TV that seven children in the Baroda are going in the boat and they perhaps died. Rescue operation is going on to recover them. So the capacity of the boat, one should be aware of that. Beyond that capacity, one should not travel through boat. And there must be adequate safety measures in the boat. Even if in Chilika, in Odisha, when we travel from Balugan to Kalijai, so some incident occurs and some valuable life, we lose some valuable life. So all these things, all these skills are under your adult literacy program, and there must be a management system. There must be a training center, and people should gather there, and the management should look after them, how to give them training, how to make aware of uh, these natural calamities, and also how to develop the life skills. They they also at times uh, the computer literacy. They should have computer literacy. Some adults are there, they have the computer literacy. Then another point is the equivalency schooling. If some are out of the school, through non-formal education centers, there was a education guarantee scheme, EGS. Previously, it has not, it has been abolished. That the non-NGOs were running the EGS institutions, and the course some are rather same. There must be equivalency, and they could appear the exam and they could uh, obtain the degree. Then I have told you the life skills training, how to protect yourself from HIV and AIDS, how to control your sexual behavior, how to keep the environmental preservation, environmental pollution, and civic education. What are the social values that you have to learn? That is your life skills. Then income generation training, that non-formal vocational training. You must have witnessed the TV that yesterday I was witnessing the TV, and how there is a flower cultivation in the state of Odisha, and they also generate the income. Also, there is a peace culture. They also, the management should to invite the personnel from the agricultural university to give them training how to do the peace culture, poultry farm. So many vocational trainings are there. There are some rare mangoes are produced in Odisha, and also the coffee products is unique in nature. And today's eye-catching thing is, what is that? Can you say? Udia? Hmm. Mandia chasa? Am I right or wrong? What is the English term? Milte. Millet.
Yep.
Millet is now the eye-catching agricultural cultivation per kg. What is the rate? More than 200. More than 200, the millet. It is the how to cultivate the millets. Different kinds of millets are there in Koraput particularly. In our early time, in our early age, when I was a child, I have seen the millets, mandia, and that was treated as the poor man's food during that period. Now it is most costly and rich man's food. And we can prepare various items from millet. So we have to encourage to cultivate the millet, and there will be income generation. So these are the training for the management system. These training are to be given. Then for the professional development and for the rural development. For example, the animal husbandry, watershed, forest management, soil conservation, irrigation, fishery management. We are unable to preserve or harvest the rainwater, and during the summer season there is scarcity of water, and the in stream reservation. Now government is doing nothing, or two or three projects are they are proposing, and in the different rivers they will construct the check dams in stream reserves where the water will be reserved and will be utilized during the summer season. So also the mechanism should be evolved to harvest the rainwater for the drinking purposes, and the fishery management. Now the prawn culture, people are rich due to the prawn cultivation. ଚିଙ୍ଗୁଡ଼ି ଚାଷ କରି ବହୁ ଲୋକ ଧନୀ ହେଇଯାଇଛନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ପ୍ରପର ଟ୍ରେନିଂ, ପ୍ରପର treatment of water, soil, and etc. All these things training given to be through the non-formal management, and also for the rural development. Gandhi has rightly advocated that the India and Bharata. Now India has been substituted by Bharata. Am I right or wrong? India has been substituted by
Yes,
Bharata.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
India is in the urban area, but Bharata is in the rural area. Rural sanitation, rural communication, rural transportation, and rural development. All these things. People should be aware. Rural cleanliness, but nobody, no government bothers about the rural development. So through non-formal education, NGOs are trying to develop the for the rural development. When there will be rural development, then the country will be developed. Unless there will be rural development, the country will not be developed. Then the religious education. We are getting religious education, the spiritual education. We believe in God. Or you don't believe in God? Do you believe in God?
Yes, sir.
Recently
Yes,
in
sir.
Odisha, there was Jagannatha Parikrama. That in a really Jagannatha Parikrama, two photos were there, Nabin Patnaik and Pandian. Am I right? In the banner, in the political drama. And the rice which was collected, that was dumped in a temple, in every panchayat. Money and the rice, etc. And in on 22nd of January, what will be happen? What will happen? What will happen on 22nd January?
ପ୍ରାଣ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା ହବ ରାମଲାଲାଙ୍କର।
Ram Lalanga Prana Pratishtha. So you will see every day in TV, witness the TV, that the religion is in our heart and mind. We cannot live without religion. Indian culture means we believe in religion. Maybe Muslim, maybe Christian, maybe Hindu. Doesn't matter. Why do you believe in religion? Why do you go to the temple? I have told you. Why do you go to the temple?
We believe in God.
Any religious center you visit. Why do you go to the temple? Why do also you listen the various valuable speeches of various great sannyasis, saints, or monks like that? Why?
Sir, for peace.
ହଁ ଯୋଉ ଶୁଣୁଛୁ ଆମେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ଲୋକ ଆସିକି ସବୁ ଭାଷଣ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ଆ ବାଣୀ ସବୁ ଶୁଣଉଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ମନ୍ଦିର ଯାଉଛେ କାହିଁ ମନ୍ଦିର ଯାଉଛେ ଆମେ
worship the God.
ହଁ worship the God.
So to get positive vibes.
Yes, to develop a positive mind. To develop a positive mind, we visit to the temple and go to any religious center. Not negative. All is well. That must be a slogan. India is one. We are the active member or the worthy member of our country. Our country is great. So, and also the cultural and traditional education through non-formal education. The different cultures are developed. Hindu has a different culture, Muslim has different culture, Christians have different culture. Here, Constitution has given guarantee that we have to develop our culture. There is no bar in it. That's why then who are the providers? At the government level, at the both non-government level, at the public enterprise, private enterprise, educational training institution, professional association, religious bodies, missions, national branch of international non-government organizations, local branch nations, and so on and so forth. These are the. Then who are the target group for NFE? National a non-formal education. Who are the target group? Those who are illiterate, does not know how to write alphabets. Today I have you gone the today's paper? 45% of class 5 students are unable to write 26 alphabets in English. 50% of class 2 students are unable to write the Odia alphabets. So it is a precarious condition. How to remove all these things? Only through non-formal education we can remove all these barriers. Unless you know the alphabets, know the words and sentences, etc., how can you communicate? Unless you communicate, how can you gather the knowledge? How can you develop the understanding? How can you apply it? So, target group, as I have told you, those who are illiterate and those who are literate also, that they are also target group. I can differentiate two things: the acquiring qualification and education. Acquiring has a degree of the university, PhD, MA, etc. Can you say that they are educated? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No, sir.
If their behavior is modified, he can behave properly. You see, some old people are there living in the villages. They have large experiences, long experiences, and they really know what is cooperation, what is peace, what is non-violence, and they know what is what. They are educated, but we are qualified. If someone meets the accident and on the road, we simply avoid and do not extend our helping hand to the particular person. So this is called your humanity. But in those people, those old people, they have the humanity. So this is between the education and qualification. All qualified persons are not educated, but all educated persons are qualified. You cannot say all those who have also highly qualified also they are some educated. At least have a positive thinking. At least for think for a while for others. At least to extend your helping hand to others. At least think for the needy people. You may not do or do not anything, it doesn't matter. But the thinking process should be in your mind. So then issues in the educational management with a special reference to non-formal education. In the school education, while providing the non-formal education, what happened? The adequate training is not given, adequate funds are not available, adequate teachers are not available. These are the issues. Long duration of residential camp, remedial teaching of difficult group of children is not given, greater community mobilization and participation is not undertaken, because in all the cases there must be community participation. And children in remote and schoolless habitations, still there is children in Nagada. In where is Nagada?
Odisha.
Odisha koଉଠି?
Jajpur.
Jajpur. Where is the Banda community? Where is the Banda
Mal-
community?
Malkanagiri.
Malkanagiri. So you see, one or two children have passed the matriculation from the Banda community, and in Nagada also one has got the passed the matriculation. There is a malnutrition. They are affected by the various diseases. So this is how the government does not care whether people die or live. They are busy for their vote. So short duration summer camp, previously it was there. because people are busy in for their survival, for their work. So if you provide the summer course to those people or bridge course to those people, then there will be the problem will be sorted out. So some of the hard to reach children center Assam, those who have gone to the eastern regions. Have you anybody gone to the eastern region? Manipur, Assam, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, all these areas. Anyone has visited? No. You will feel that the full of mountains. It is very difficult to provide the education to them. And they are very, very hardworking. And the lifestyle is somewhat different from us. So, in order to reach at them, so the non-formal education should the the alternative one, and there must be mobile schools, mobile education. Students should not come to this non-formal education center. The teacher engaged in the non-formal system of education should reach there. In even Malkanagiri or Koraput, you will find the hilly areas. At the top of the hill, some 2 or 3 habitants are there, and there is a scattered habitation. In a coastal area, the habitation are very closely, thickly populated. But in these areas, in Balangiri, Sambalpur, Devagad, etc., Keonjhar, these are the scattered habitation. Though there is a provision normal schools within the 3 kilometers, there must be a school, elementary school. Within 5 kilometer radius, there must be a high school. But the habitations are so scattered, it is beyond 3 kilometers and beyond 5 kilometers. And there is no road to the reach at them who are living at the top of the hill. We know the ground reality of Nagada and the ground reality of Karaput, ground reality of Malkanagiri. So, for that, there must be mobile van and all educational equipment should be in the mobile van, and the teacher should reach at the learner. So education should reach at them. So mobile schools, that is called your mobile schools. And also I have told you that the most important factor in our country that the human resources. Unless you develop the human resources, you cannot develop the country. So in order to develop the human resources, there must be non-formal way, alternative education should be there to provide them proper education in a qualitative manner. And for higher education, there must be orientation course, refresher course. Of course, sometimes it is given, refresher course, orientation course. So, and adult and continuing extension education department also they have been abolished. Professional and technical education, the ଆମେ ସିନିୟର ସିଟିଜେନ ପାଇଁ ତୀର୍ଥଯାତ୍ରା ପାଇଁ ବସରେ ପଇସା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରୁଛେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ, ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ? ତୀର୍ଥଯାତ୍ରା ଇଟ୍ସ ଅଲ୍ ରାଇଟ୍, nobody discourage you, but what about the people those who are ignorant of agriculture, ignorant of various vocations? What are you doing? Even today, not in a single block, there is a cold storage to preserve the food, as a result of which farmers they sell the productions at a cheaper rate when they produce it. For example, tomato, for example, brinjals, and so on and so forth. And these things are purchased by the rich people and they keep it in a cold storage and sells it in the higher rate. And we shout that there is a price rise. And why don't you compel the government to install the cold storage in each block? We are trying for one cold storage in our block, but we failed. The simple answer was that it was running with loss. There will be no. Arre, it's a social welfare country, welfare state, and there must be loss, and state should bear it. And the advice, if there will be private partnership, then we can allow it. Who will come to invest such amount, and if he does not get profit in any way, private persons, they are not coming for social service. Tata, Birla, Venga, or all these Reliance and your Adani, are they doing social service? Hello, are they doing social service?
No, sir.
No. They are increasing their property day by day. During COVID period, they have increased their property like anything. They will not invest in such things. So how can you? So this is a policy of the government, and we are all some, not all say we are educated, sorry, qualified. Again, I am wrong, but we do not consider that we are the owner, not the servant. We have the power to pressurize the government, pressure group. In the democracy, when there will be a pressure group, the government will bow down to do this. Otherwise, do not. So, then for that, Directorate of General Employment and Training, DGT, then the Training Rural Youth Self-Employment, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, previously it was there, now it is not functioning. They are giving low. Extension to third dimension, not higher education. So, the UGC, MPhil, PhD, now in the new education policy, MPhil has not given importance. So, it will be abolished. So, all these things under non-educational, non-formal education, and the open and distance learning in non-formal education. NIOS, National Institute of Open School. Because of the NAC visit in Odisha, there was one institute of NIOS, it was banned. It was stopped this year. Then how can these learners will take admission? How can get the education? Also, there was in Odisha particularly, the distance and continuing education, DDCE, Director of Distance Education. So many people are appearing the PG and undergraduate courses through DDC, distance education. But this year, what happened? The NAC team did not give A plus plus. So this has all for this session it was stopped. No other university in Odisha has been allowed to continue the DDC course. So in theory it is very sound. In practically, these are the difficulties in the management system. And if what are the criteria for NACO? The government should come forward to fulfill the criteria of NACO, so that he will get A plus plus. And also, so far the teacher education is concerned, you will find there are 3 IAC, Institute of Advanced Education, in IA in AC. So there are city, there are training colleges. You will see some training colleges or city have not adequate infrastructure, adequate staffs. So, and also the teachers who are appointed, the teacher educators, so to say, huge, large number of in Nollindevi, Radhanath, and in Angul, Sambalpur, more than 20, 25 plus teaching staffs are there. What are they doing? They are teaching only B.Ed and M.Ed students. What is the workload? A professor or associate professor has to take 14 hours teaching in a week. For an assistant professor, it is 16 hours. And there must be 30 weeks working days, teaching days during one calendar year or academic year. So how can you show the workload? It is difficult. I had been to the Nallindevi because the number is perhaps 26 or 27. And hardly they take 4 or 5 classes per week. Hardly. So they requested me to show the workload. So I went there and prepared the workload. Otherwise, some will be transferred. Some will ask for under RTI. What are they doing? Only the money goes from the government exchequer. That is, it is our money. They are not getting a small salary. They are getting a very good salary. So you see, here in the schools also, there are no, in the non-formal and formal education, there is also teachers are not available. The distance education, vocational continuing education, I have told you, distance education program for teachers. In Odisha, there is no such system, but only IGNU has the program for teacher education and M education. And no other university is allowed for distance education in respect of the teacher education. So, the education policy that it has been given 56, 61, it was 1.6%. Third plan 161 to 66. There are the 0.3%, fourth plan, 0.1%, fifth plan, the increase 3.3%, 64, 66. It was a tremendous change has occurred that then the role of national say non-formal education institution, National Literacy Mission NILAM, NLM, that is not functioning today. Book are there and you have to write. That is continuing education is not there. Janasikkha Sanstha, that is not there. It has been uh, recommended. Directorate of Adult Education is not there. There was previously it was a director. State Literary Mission Authority SLMS is not functioning. So these are the Integrated Child Development Services. ICDS is functioning. ICDS is functioning. The main objective: proper psychological development of the child, improve nutrition and health status of up to 6 years, reduce incidents, mortality, morbidity, malnutrition, school dropouts, ensure capability of mother and a family to look after the health and the nutritional development of the child. So that is functioning. And immunization, health checkup, the referral services are there. So ICDS is functioning and they are doing their job. So these are the about the uh, non-formal management. Then the government sector, what is the government doing? I have told you the government, a group of persons who have been elected every 5 years. They are called, what do you call it? There are four pillars: parliamentarian, then executives, then or bureaucracy you could say, then
Media.
media. One thing I have left, that is judiciary. So this government means the mainly the parliamentarian and the bureaucrats. They are sitting in a, what do you say, AC room in the Lok Sabha Bhavan, and formulate rules and regulations. They do not know the ground reality, what is going on. Their children know a suffer. They are continuing their studies. In particularly in Bhubaneswar, if you say, Sai International per year more than 1 lakh, ODM more than 1 lakh, the another is Mother Public School more than 1 lakh, another is Delhi Public School also 1 lakh. So you see, all English medium schools are there. They have money, power, the bureaucrats, they have no problems. But they do not formulate policies for the ground or for the common mass, common people. And we vote for them in lieu of what? Money and wine, or wealth and wine. Am I right? We vote for them
Yes.
Yes,
wealth
sir.
and wine, in lieu of wealth and wine, before the election, before going to cast our votes. If we are afford wealth and wine, then we are very much pleased. If one continues for 2 decades, more than 2 decades, definitely system will corrupt. In Odisha, you will find there is PC, means percentage in
Po-
all work, PC. If you do not give PC, your work will not be done. In the government office, there is written transparency. One of the 5T is transparency. They are collecting money from them. That Pandian, the main dalal, who is collecting money from all these people. So you see, this is how the government, the basic principle of democracy, by the people, of the people, for the people. Am I right? These are the basic three fundamental things of democracy, which has been incorporated in the constitution. By the people. Instead of a BUY, we purchase, we buy the people. Am I right? Of the
yes,
people,
sir.
OF, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ. Yeah, but the moment they are elected, they are of OFF, they are of the people. For the people, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ. So after election, that word is far, FAR. They are far from the people. So this
Yes,
is
sir.
the how this democracy is defined nowadays. And have you heard the name of Nityananda Mahapatra? In the past, he was a revenue minister. Have you heard? No. Have you heard the name of Navakrishna Chaudhary? Have you
Yes,
heard
sir.
the name of Navakrishna, the former chief minister? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You will astonished. You must have also read from the newspaper. Those people have spent only 300 rupees in their election. You see, now a sarpanch, a chairman, a corporator, they spend lakhs of rupees, even crores. Where do they get the money? On the New Year's Day, how much wine was sold in Cuttack and Bhubaneswar? Worth of 60 crores. You see, officially. Non-officially, beforehand, they have also hoarded these wine and also sold it. This is our character. This is our people. This is our their leaders. Gandhiji was dreaming about the eradication of the wine. ନିଶା ନିବାରଣ ପାଇଁ ସେ ଦୃଢ଼ ସଂକଳ୍ପ ନେଇଥିଲେ। ସେ କହିଥିଲେ ଭାରତର ଆତ୍ମା ହେଉଛି ଗାଁରେ। ଏବେ ଦେଖିବ ତମେ ଯଦି ଗାଁରେ ରହୁଥିବ, ପ୍ରତି ଗାଁରେ ମଦର ବନ୍ୟା, ଦେଶୀ ମଦ। ଆମେ ରାଇଟ୍ ଅର୍ ରଙ୍ଗ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
କେତେ ଘର ଉଜୁଡୁଛି, କେତେ ସଂସାର ଉଜୁଡୁଛି। Still people do not realize. And This is our democracy, and we vote for those corrupt people. We are ashamed of a South Indian people taking the lead, and we are say praise that person like anything. You know Madhu, Madhu Barrister.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
He is the pride of Odisha. He never compromised with the quality, and there is a industry, and he never compromised with uh, the quality, as a result of which that industry was closed. जो अभिमान, जो गौरव, जो प्राइड आमे गर्व करू, we are proud of a great warrior and king also, Maha Meghobana Oiro Kharabeଳ ଖାରବେଳ ନାଇଁ ଆରେ ଅଇର ଖରାବେଳଙ୍କ ନାଁ ଶୁଣିଛନ୍ତି ନାଇଁ ବା?
Yes, sir.
we
Yes,
are
sir.
the we are the ancestors of ଅଇର ଖାରବେଳ, and during that his regime it was the Odisha, the Kalinga, rather it can say Kalinga, from Ganga to Godavari, from West Bengal to Andhra Pradesh. You see, such a powerful man he was, and we feel proud of those people. Fakir Mohan yes, Fakir Mohan, that's a guy Fakir Mohan. So great people were there, Gopabandhu Das, Nilakantha Mishra Das. So many great people were there that we forgot about their sacrifice. We don't have the feeling of the Odia feeling. ଆମ ଜାତିର ଆମ ଗୋଟେ feeling ବୋଲି ଆମର ନାହିଁ କିଛି. Particularly the young people, they don't have such type of feeling. That we belong to Odisha, we belong to Jagannath culture, and it is the negative things that you. The positive things in the government sector and overview have that is Department of Higher Education, there is a Department of School and Mass Education, there is a no Department of Education and Literacy now exists, but in the book there is a School Education and Literacy, School Education, School and Mass Education is there, Literacy was not. Directorate also, there are three directorates, Director of Higher Education, Director of Secondary Education, Director of Elementary Education. These are the management structure existing university. So constitutional position, if you read the Article 14, 15, 16, you will find the equality and equity. Equality of opportunity, the Article 16. Article 14, 15 and 21A, there must be equity. There should not be discrimination between male and female. There must be proper honor for the ladies. The dignity should be maintained. And so many international institutions like AIMS, IAM, where is IAM in Odisha? Indian Institute of Management
In Sambalpur, sir.
in Sambalpur, right? AIMS,
Bhubaneswar.
Bhubaneswar. So recently they have also planning for a satellite AIMS at Baleshwar. Planning for satellite AIMS for Baleshwar. But all these institutions, as per the Article 45, there must be provision or the children 14 age group of 14 shall be given free and compulsory education. Now, this has been incorporated in the fundamental rights. Education is the fundamental right. And also, Article 21A also gives emphasis on the fundamental right. But one thing is that up to the age 14, there must be free and compulsory education. But whether in the government and non-government sector that things are fulfilled or not. In English medium schools, there is no such provisions. There is a provision that 25% of enrollment shall be students shall be given free and education. No donation, no nothing of this kind shall be given. But that is they are not obliged to carry out the instruction of the government. They have got the land free of cost from the government at the token money. But they are doing their business. So directive state policy that the constitution directs that the endeavor to provide free and compulsory education to all the children up to the age of 14. Article 46 also promote the social and educational economic interest, etc. So now it is a free education. Free education in the government schools, midday meals are given, uniform are given, free learning materials are given, but you will see what happens. What is the problem? Side by side, I am telling you about the problems, issues. The educational academic year starts from
April, sir.
which month? Academic year.
April, April to
Huh?
April.
March.
1st April to 31st March. So after 1 or 2 months over, after the 1 month, 2 months completion, the school books are not provided to the students. How can they get the learn? This is the issue. Nobody bother about the non-government, government schools. You see, the first category of teacher are recruited in the government schools. The second category of teacher go to English medium schools. The third category of teacher go to the Saraswati Sishu Mandira. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
Ye- Yes, sir.
Yes. But what happens? The second category becomes first, the third category becomes second, and the first category becomes third. So these are the problems, management problems, educational management problems due to there is no accountability. If once they are posted, their service will not be taken away. So they will retire and get the all benefits. This is the attitude. So unless you like your profession, like your job, like your school, like your learners, so nothing will happen. So the school education, pre-primary education, that already we have discussed. The secondary education, you will see there is a elementary education and secondary education. There is only खाली चकचक मार देले 5T रे हबो नहीं. कलर कर दे कि कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को पोसीबा. It is not at all good symbol of education. There must be adequate human resources, teachers, training, and many things should be. As a result, the development will take place. So these are the problems, both secondary and elementary. and also higher and technical education 50%, etc. These things that take place in the all educational systems. So this is all about your non-formal education, and in the next class we will the unit 9 and 10. 2 units in a class we will cover, and just think of our condition. One thing I have left the informal education. Informal education is the lifelong experiences that we gain at home, in the school, and from the peers and society, from the culture, etc. These are the informal education. Home is the informal education. Society is the from society we also gain experiences in formal education. From the peer group, when we interact, our behavior is being modified. From the cultural center, the recreational center, and other centers, we are getting experiences. I have told you categorically, knowledge springs out of experiences. And wherever you go, till we go to the burial ground, we can gather the experience. If you go to the tea shop, tea stall, or betel shop, if you converse with them, you will get life skills. Many things you will learn. So, this is all about we have discussed today. Thank you for your patient hearing and listening. Thank you for all of you again. Now I wind up the class.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes. Bye.